Hi Intermediate, happy Thursday. Today's going to be another short lecture. We're going to do 10.3, which is equations in quadratic form. So 10.3 is mostly a review. There is only one topic in here that is new, which will be the third problem I will do. But in general, everything in here is a review, which is great. So you get to go back over the concepts that we've been working on. So what makes them a little different is that you're sort of seeing them all mixed together. Okay, gang, so let's start with this one. This is a solve. This should look familiar to you. You did a problem like this on exam number 2. So we've already done this before. This is just a repeat. So to solve this, we would find the LCD, which is 2y, y minus 2. And the way we did it in class was we would just give it what it's missing. So in the first fraction, it's missing a 2 and a y minus 2 from the LCD. In the second fraction, it's missing just a 2 and a y. And in the third fraction, it's missing both the y and the y minus 2. So this is great. You're going to review these concepts because this stuff is going to come up on the final. So what you do is you balance these equations with what's missing, and then remember, once the bottoms are all equal, you can cross out the bottoms. You cross out the denominator. Now watch how you do this. You first do the 3 times the 2. So the 3 times the 2 is a 6. And then you're going to put that with, sorry, my phone is ringing. Let me hit ignore on that. Let me turn this off. Okay, so you'll do the 3 times the 2, and then you'll distribute the 6. So we'll get 6y minus 12. And now here you're going to do the negative 6 times the 2y, which is negative 12y. And over here, the 1 times the y is y. And then you just want to put that into both terms, so that's going to equal to y squared minus 2y. I'm going to first, before I move stuff, I'm just going to combine on a side. So I'm going to put these two together. Okay, this is quadratic, so you want to set it equal to 0. So you want to move everything to the left. So this is the I guess you would say like the newer part, even though this is all repetitive except one type of question. So the newer part is, when you get to this spot, what do you have to do? Does a quadratic formula work? Can it factor? Square root method? Like, out of those techniques I taught you, what's the most appropriate fit here to solve this? So as I look at it, my first thought is, oh, can I factor that? And then I get, no, I can't. That's not factorable. So this is not factorable. So I'm going to be stuck using the quadratic formula. So now I'm going to go ahead and do that. So my A is a 1, my B is a 4, my C is a 12. And I'm going to stick those numbers into the quadratic formula. Okay, so let me just say that again. My A is a 1, my B is a 4, my C is a 12. Okay, so, and it's a y in this case. So let me say y equals negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. This really is whatever variable you need it to be. In our case, we're solving for y, so I'm saying y. But if you accidentally say x on the test, it's no problem. So we plug in all the values. We were working on this the other day. We plug in all the values. And most of the work here is going to be in that radical. Okay, so that 4 squared, that guy's going to be a 16. We figure out the signs first. Negative times a positive is negative. 4 times 1 times 12 is 48. We keep going with this. Okay, we're getting a negative 32 over 2. We keep going. Now the biggest perfect square in 32, that's going to be 16. So I want to think about this as negative 1 times 16 times 2 all over 2. So I'm breaking it into its parts. I'm breaking this into its parts. So the 16 comes out as a 4. The negative 1 under the radical comes out as an I, and this 2 is left under. Okay, so let me just say that again. The negative 1 comes out as an I, the square root of 16 is 4, and the 2 stays under. So this is how I rewrite it. This has a common factor, so it has to be reduced. You have to factor out you have to factor out a 2 out of here and a 2 out of here. And that creates that. I know you could factor out a 4, so if that got you confused, you can factor out a 4. It's just that I want to get rid of this. If you factored out a 4, that's absolutely correct, because there's 2 ways to actually write the answer. So that's the first way. And if you factored out a 4 here, then when you reduced it with, so if you factored out a 4, which is fine. So if your brain factored out a 4, which is also correct, when you reduce it with the 2, it actually leaves you with a 2 outside. So either of these forms are correct. This one or this one, they're both correct. So either way you do it, you can't get it wrong. Okay, I'm going to stop here on the first one and pick up again on another video. Bye-bye.